Hey everybody, it's James here from GoodGuitarist.com, and in today's lesson I'm going to show you a simple way to strum through Get Back by the Beatles. Now this is just a 3-chord tune. The real challenge here is going to come in the rhythm. You know, there's a few rhythm shots and a couple other things that we need to address. If along the way you find any extra help, I have a few resources. There's my free ebook, which goes over all the basics of chords and strumming. There's my complete beginner's course, which takes you step by step through that process, you know, building up your rhythm from the ground up, your chord switching and all that, putting it all together, learning songs the entire way through. And I also have a chord chart for this available on my Patreon. That's it. Let's just get started with the chord shapes. First, we have an A chord. From A, we're going to be switching to D. And there's a bit of a trick to that. Starting on our A shape, we leave our third finger down, we slide it up 1 fret, and then we can complete the D shape. Makes it a little bit simpler, you know, having that finger to guide us. When we go back to A, just reverse the steps. Lift those up, move your third finger back, and there we go. So just get used to that, you know, switching back and forth between those. There's also a G chord, and we play the G chord for literally 1 strum during the chorus a couple times, and that's it. I would use that shape because we're going to be switching from G to D really quickly. You know, always go and then back to the A chord. So when we do it this way, we can leave our third finger down and we can just pivot off of it. And if you need more help with that sort of thing, you know, if you find that really helps you with the learning process and with your chord switching, that's what I do in my free ebook and in my beginner's course. So please check those out if you'd like extra help with switching. Anyways, now that we're familiar with the chord shapes, let's take a look at the verse. It only uses A and D, and I want to practice going downstrokes only and just counting along so that we can work on the switching. Starting off on the A chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, do that all over again. A, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. And that's the basic progression that we use for the majority of the song. A, D, A. You know, we add a G here and there, a couple other things, but that's basically it. Before we go on and learn the rest of the sections, which are based on that, let's take a look at our strumming pattern. It goes like this. I'll do it a little bit slower. 3 and 4 and. So the strokes are quite simple. We're just doing a downstroke on beat 1, and then on beats 2, 3, and 4, we're playing down, up on each of them. And to work that out, I recommend counting out loud, 1, 2, 3, 4, and, you know, playing a downstroke on beat 1 and a down up on the remaining strokes. Let's try that nice and slow. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And when we count that way, the downs are on the numbers and the ands are the upstrokes. But I recommend getting to the point where you can just count the numbers only and fit the upstrokes in there where they belong just by feeling it out. You know, you might have to count it out a whole bunch, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and mechanically first, but then get to the point where you can just go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we could leave it at that, but if you want to make this song come alive a little bit more, we can practice emphasizing beats 2 and 4. So those are both downstrokes, and I like to make the whole thing a little bit quieter. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's where counting comes in handy, because you can just say 2 and 4 a little bit louder. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it already gets you into that feel, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And And that's a really common thing in a lot of country tunes, especially, and in the blues, is emphasizing beats 2 and 4. It really makes that sort of feeling happen, you know? So you're welcome to try that. I'll just put the strumming pattern up there. You can kind of see how it all goes together, and you can just count it out as slow as you need to go. If you want extra help with this stuff, I have a course that I've just released called Strumming Made Simple that starts at the most basic level, but gets into some of the more intermediate and advanced strumming concepts, teaches you how to play and sing at the same time, and to extract strumming patterns from songs, to play with dynamics, with feeling. Otherwise, we're going to put that together with our simple chord progression for the verse. 1, 2, 3, 4. So practice that a whole bunch, get comfortable with it, because that is the majority of the tune. We just take that, make a couple little modifications to it, and that gives us the chorus. So let's take a look at the chorus. We're going to start off the same way. And then here, it's a little bit different. We're going to do the first half of our strumming pattern on the A chord. You know, just down, down, up. And then we go G, D, one downstroke each. So let's just practice that bit, going down, down, up, down, down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, down, down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I want you to practice that at your own pace, get it nice and comfortable, and then basically we take the verse that we already practiced and we replace the fourth measure with that instead, and that's our first chorus. So I'm gonna play it through it. If you're not ready, don't worry about it. You can always just watch, see what's going on, and then try it with me later. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the chorus. Now, this song has another chorus that is slightly different. It starts off the same way as the first chorus. Except here, instead of going D and then A, we're gonna stick with the A chord and then play D. So we just swap them around. You know, our main chord progression is A, A, D, A. Well, in this case, we're going A, 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 D. Just swapping those last two chords around. The only part we haven't taken a look at yet is the intro, and it's pretty simple. We just start off on an A chord, playing downstrokes only, going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So we count up to 4 3 times, and then we go 1 and 2, 3, 4. So it's just like in the chorus, except 1 and 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna play through it one more time. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. And that goes into the verse. Following the verse, we have the first chorus, and then there's a solo section, which is the same chords as the first chorus. So we basically play the first chorus 2 times. Then we do the second chorus, which is just slightly different, you know, those last couple chord shapes. And then we do the chorus again with a guitar solo happening over it. Then there's the verse, the first chorus, the solo, which happens over the first chorus, and then the second chorus. So we just take all those components that we've already learned and we put them together in a particular order. You can see the order right there. Once again, if you want help following along, it's all written down on the chord chart on my Patreon page. Before we finish up, let's just play through our own little version of this tune just so you can get an idea of transitioning between all the different parts. We're going to start off with the intro. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1. So that's how you play Get Back by the Beatles. If you'd like some extra help, don't forget about my resources. There's my free ebook, which goes over all the basics of chords and strumming, my complete beginner's course, Strumming Made Simple, and there's also that chord chart on my Patreon. Other than that, have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.